Today we are going to visit the Reading and Susquehanna Valley Model Railroad Club located in West Milton, Pennsylvania. That's starting right now. Hi, I'm Roy Smith. For the past several weeks, I've been showing you the railroad and model railroad things I did during my recent trip to Pennsylvania. I visited a number of home and club layouts during that trip. Today, I want to take you to the HO scale Reading and Susquehanna Valley Model Railroad Club, which is located in West Milton, Pennsylvania. I have spent time at this club during previous trips to central Pennsylvania. In fact, the club designated me as an honorary member a couple of years ago. I will put the links about those previous visits to the club down below. Go and check out those videos after this one ends. As you may know, I live in Panama City, Panama, but I visit my mother in central Pennsylvania once or twice a year every year. And as good fortune would have it, the club is located just 2 miles south of my mother's house. Let's take a look at the club's layout. The club's layout occupies a space measuring 16 feet by 30 feet. The members of the club have been working on their layout for about 10 years now. Currently, there are nearly 30 members in the club. The club is modeling the Reading Railroad from Winfield to Newberry Junction in central Pennsylvania. That's a rail distance of some 35 miles. The time frame for the layout is pre-1976, before the Reading Railroad was absorbed into Conrail in 1976. But in turn, Norfolk Southern and CSX took over Conrail in the late 1990s. So you can see some Norfolk Southern power owned by members of the club running on the layout. You can even see some foreign power running on the layout, including 2 Union Pacific diesels that belong to me, but which I leave permanently at the club. So the club is located in central Pennsylvania, where I grew up, and it models the same area. When I visit the club, I am reminded of how much I wanted to build the layout of my dreams when I was a kid. Let me show you the rest of the layout. Whenever I'm in central Pennsylvania, I always like to drive up to English's model train store in Montoursville, about 25 miles north of my mother's house. You should go to English's if you're ever in the area, because it's the best train store in central Pennsylvania. I'll put the link to English's down below. I can't seem to get in and out of this store without spending some serious cash. For example, last year in May 2018, I bought the Cato N-Scale Union Pacific Steam Locomotive 844 and Excursion set, which now runs on my layout here in Panama. I also bought this Athearn HO Scale G50, which has been running on the club's layout ever since. This year, in May 2019, I bought a Cato N-Scale Union Pacific 1943, which you see here on my layout. But I also bought this Athearn HO Scale GP35, which remains on the club's layout, along with the GP50. But don't worry, I'm not about to go over to the dark side. That is, I'm not going to switch to HO Scale here on my home layout in Panama. Here you see the GP50 and GP35 running in consist on the layout. I went down to the club, I hung out with the guys there, and I ran trains a number of times during my 3 weeks in Pennsylvania. One time, while I was at the club, A nice young man named Brock Smith, who is a member of the club, gave me this really cool Union Pacific sign made of metal. Brock, if you're watching this, thanks. I want you to know how much I appreciate it. And there it is, permanently placed where it belongs, on the door to my train room. Another time when I was there, a newspaper reporter named Kevin Mertz, who writes for my hometown newspaper, the Milton Standard-Journal, came to the club to interview me. He subsequently wrote this really nice article for the paper, which was published on June 6th. The article is entitled, "Milton Grad is Honorary Member of Model Railroading Club." Let me just share a little bit of this article with you. Kevin wrote, "Roy Smith believes he may be the only model railroad enthusiast currently living in Panama. Smith, a 1966 graduate of the Milton Area High School and a veteran of the United States Army, recently visited the Susquehanna Valley Model Railroad Club display located in the West Milton Memorial Park. The club has adopted Smith as an honorary member, and he stops by the club yearly when he's in the area visiting family." Kevin goes on to write, "His love for model railroading started as a youngster, with Smith noting that he received his first train set when he was 10. That was the beginning of a lifelong passion of model railroading," he said. Here you see a picture of me which appeared along with the article. Well, the rest of the article has to do with my military career and life here in Panama, so I won't read all of that to you. But do let me just say that this is a keeper. And Kevin, if you're watching this video, thank you for writing such a nice article. I am honored and I really appreciate it. Near the end of my 3-week stay at Mom's house in Pennsylvania, the members of the club invited me and Leonore to dinner at the Allenwood Cafe, which is located a 6-minute drive north of Mom's house. Leonore and I had a wonderful time here with the members of the club and their spouses. Guys, I just want to say thank you. It was tons of fun. I look forward to seeing you again next year. I would apply for full membership in the club if I lived in that area, and if you live in that area, I recommend that you check it out. One of the most enjoyable things about model railroading is sharing the hobby with like-minded friends, and belonging to a club where the members are having tons of fun is a great way to share the hobby. Well, that just about concludes this episode, but before you go, be sure to subscribe if you're new here and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. And remember, I upload 2 videos each week. Dispatch, in which I get to interact with you on Tuesday nights, and layout updates on Saturday mornings, in which I show you what I'm doing on my layout. Next Saturday, though, I will tell you about the wonderful weekend I spent in Strasburg, Pennsylvania, near the end of my 3 weeks in Pennsylvania, doing railroad and model railroad things. Be sure to note that next year's big get-together of model railroaders and YouTube video creators that Sparky 107 is organizing might be held in Strasburg. So be sure to watch this coming Saturday's episode to find out what Strasburg is like, because I hope to meet you there. Well, thanks for watching today. Until next time, happy railroading. I'm Roy Smith. I look forward to seeing you again very soon.